Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. I finally got some free time, so I'm gonna try and get a little more done on this trailer build. I've got the tongue kind of roughed in right there, and I've got all the cross members in, and what you're looking at is a trailer upside down right now. And it's gonna be a 14,000 pound trailer, and I'm putting some gussets in this morning right now in the corners here. And for this trailer, I went heavier than most guys do on a 14,000 pound. These are 10 inch, 15 wide flange beams, 10 inch tall, 15 pounds a foot, with a 4 inch top and bottom flange. I used 4 inch C channel. That's 7 1/4 pounds a foot. That's super heavy duty. And when you use heavy enough material, I know there's a lot of talk out there about putting a torsion bar in, a big round tube from front to back to take some of the spring out of the trailer. And trailer manufacturers do that now because they're trying to get away with a lot lighter material and make a lighter trailer. And that doesn't really matter to me. I like to make them heavy from the beginning and not worry about putting torsion tubes in or anything like that. But if you make a light trailer, you're probably going to need something like that. Like I say, I'm going kind of overkill on this because I want to be able to put anything on here that I want to put on here. And like I say, I'm just going to start welding these in. I'm using some Hobart XLR-8 flux core wire on this. I'll try and get you some arc shots, anybody interested in using that. It's kind of like Lincoln 232, 233, the inner shield. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's super nice. It's fast, and it goes in real nice. And you can see when I made the tongue here, I've got a joint in this, in the wide flange beams here. And I've got a little plate for that. This area right here takes a real beating on a trailer. If there's any bouncing going on, if you've got a heavy load there, it's all concentrated right there. And I didn't bend the beam or anything. I cut and spliced it. And what I'm going to do is put a plate on that now. I'm not going to wait for something to happen. I'm going to head it off and put a plate on there right now. And stiffen that joint up, and I'll show you how to properly get a plate in there. And we'll continue on with putting the gussets in, and pretty soon it'll be time to flip it, and we'll put our little extensions on here and finish it up. But there've been a lot of this is basically what you'd call a pierced frame trailer, and there's been a lot of talk about that. A few guys wanted me to show it. And what the trailer manufacturers do is they use rectangular tube. They cut a hole out of the center of the beam there, and they send their cross members through there. And I didn't think it was a good idea to start cutting the beam. And I put the question to at least 4 different engineers to see what they thought. And everybody came to the conclusion that welding would be better than cutting a hole in there. And trailer manufacturers do it just for speed and ease of putting them together. But we welded the center section in there. We've got 80-inch centers on the beams, so we can get the axles in nice. And then we'll have little stubs welded on and a 2x6 rail coming around the outside. But it's all the features of a pierced frame without actually piercing the frame. So do your homework on that if you're building a trailer and figure out what you want to use. Like I say, I went to the guys that know a hell of a lot more about things about it than I do. And we all came to the conclusion that welding would be stronger than piercing the frame. So that's the way I did it. You could do it however you like, but that's what I came up with. And going to start welding this, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, everybody, we're working on the front plate of this trailer here. I'm going to try and get you some arc shots of this this Hobart wire. Now this is a T8 wire, and it's got some heavy slag, so it's not like anything you've used probably in the past if you're not familiar with this wire. It's not like any of the dual shield or the regular flux core wires. This is a structural wire, basically like 7018 on a roll. It's got the flux inside the wire, heavy slag, and you got to keep that out of your way. So it's kind of windy out, so that's a good time to shoot it because it takes the smoke away and you might be able to see the puddle pretty good. So I got my first pass in there, and I'm going to run another one, maybe 2 or 3, and I'll show you what that looks like. Hopefully I get some good arc shots for you. That's coming up right now. Okay, so when you got all your settings right and everything, the slag will just kind of peel right off there. And you can see you're left with a nice weld there. And I think we'll put 1 more or 2 more in there so that we could, blend that with the grinder and make it nice and smooth. And I'll try and get you another arc shot in there and see if you can see what it looks like. Okay, I hope you're able to see that okay. You'll notice with the Hobart wire, it's kind of like the if you've ever used Lincoln inner shield, the 232, that slag is always trying to catch you. So you got to keep your gun tilted back, and the arc force is going to keep that slag away from you, and it's going to make a nice flat bead like that. But you just got to stay conscious of what you're doing, not let that slag catch you. The T8 wires, FCAW makes one, the Core Shield 8, and Hobart makes this XLR-8, and Lincoln makes a 232 and 233. They're real finicky on wire feed speed and voltage and stuff like that, so you got to get everything set just right. That's critical with these wires. I'm running an 072 wire today, and my feeder is set at 20.5 volts, and I've got my wire feed speed right around 160. Now we're going to come in here, we're going to run some verticals up in the back on this side here, and that's a good setting for verticals. I might take it down to maybe 145 on the wire feed speed. I'll try and get you some shots of the vertical. A lot of guys have trouble with that, and I've been getting some requests to show some vertical up with this particular wire. So if I get the camera set up right, I'll try and get a vertical up for you next. I just want to show you what we're welding here. I wasn't able to get the camera in on the inside vertical. There it is in there. We just laid a second pass in there, but I can't be in there and get the camera in there too. So when I get on this outside joint and I'm doing this joint vertical up, I think I can set the camera up a little better. But let's see what we got in here. Okay, I think you guys can see that. That was, like I said, that was a weave. That's just on the inside. And I think you can see that. Wet in on the toes real nice. And that's good for that side. We'll do the other side. And then I've got some plates. Let me see if I can grab one here. Hang in there, freehanding it. These big plates that are going to tie into that front piece and get welded on the top and everything. But I'll be able to show you this vertical up right here pretty good. And anybody's having any trouble with running any of the T8 wires, let me know. I run it quite a bit and got the settings dialed in for a bunch of them. But let me get the other side done, then we'll start putting these angle plates in, and I'll be right back with you. Hey guys, I wasn't able to get you a shot of the vertical up there on the front. The rain, sleet storm moved through, the wind got crazy. I quick welded it up and ground it out, and now I'm just tying these plates in. I think you could see what I'm doing here. I'm putting like a triangular gusset in there, and then our pintle hook will be attached there in the front. And I ran out of wire right there. I had to load up another spool. You see the splice in there. But it's starting to rain again, but I'm trying to keep going on this. I just laid this one in here, and you could see, like I say, when you got it right, the flux just peels right off. And like I say, if anybody's got any flux cord T8 wire trouble, just give me a shout. Leave me a comment, and maybe I can help you through it. But this is where we're at. If this rain keeps up, I think I'm just gonna call it quits and go inside. But that's roughly where we're at. Trailer is 26 feet long, and I got a 6-foot 3-inch tongue on it, and it makes it just easier to maneuver the trailer around. You got a longer tongue on there. But things are happening. Just about getting ready to flip it over. I think I got all my underside stuff done. You see the plate that we put in there, and I got this side welded. I didn't feel like laying in the mud and doing some overhead welding there, so I'll just wait till I flip it to weld the other side. And this is about finished now. Just got to grind some weld, in this area here. And you see we got our other plate in there. So things are coming along. We got all the gussets in now, and all the I believe all the underside stuff is done. I didn't put the rear bumper on yet. We've got a lot of other stuff to do. I'll probably put that on last. So that's where the trailer build is, and we got a lot of other projects going on, but like I say, I had a little free time today, so I thought I'd show you a little more on the trailer. And we still got to get a toolbox in the front here. So there's a lot to do on this, but it doesn't look like the weather is going to stick with me too much longer. This is like the winter that won't quit. It came late and it's staying late. Still got some snow on the ground in places, but this rain is gonna wash me out for today. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, send me a comment, let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and I'll get it out there for you, and we'll catch you on the next video.